Every day when you get out of bed, life's standing right there to kick you in the fucking face, man. Could be anything. Could be you get up and you walk downstairs, you got a fucking flat tire and you're late for work and you got this and that. Life is going to throw all kinds of crazy shit at you, right? And you have to be ready for it and you got to fucking deal with it. You can't curl up into a ball. You can't run away from it. You can't hide. You have to take all this shit head on. You have to get up every day when I get up out of bed, I strap up and I'm getting ready for fucking war.
That if you want to be a confident person, you have to take action. Confidence is a result of doing something. And so many times people cheat themselves because they lack that confidence, so they don't do what they should do, only to leave saying, I wish I would have done that.
Life is what happens while we're making other plans. Like it's a brilliant it's a brilliant observation. Oh, once I've got this done, once I get my degree, then life will begin. Once I've just got to pass these exams and get to that thing and buy that house, and then I've just got to pay this off, and then I've got to and then we can start.
And I think the ability to abstain from doing the easy, pleasurable thing that's right in front of you and picture a life that you can dream of, asking yourself if a better version of yourself exists, what that version of yourself is, picturing the plan to get there, and actually starting and executing on that plan, I think is such a rare thing right now, and so hard for people to stop and even think about, given how much constant distraction there is in their life. And that's what made me want to ask this kid. I was like, do you believe a better version of yourself exists?
The fastest growth periods are often the most miserable. If you want progress, get used to pain. The worst thing that's ever happened to you is the worst thing that's ever happened to you. I have led a toothless life. A toothless life. I have never bitten into anything. I was waiting. I was reserving myself for later on, and I have just noticed that my teeth have gone.
A lot of people wait for perfect conditions to start, but don't realize that starting is the perfect condition. It's the habit of biting that takes you all the way, not where you choose to bite the first time. And
people change when the pain of their circumstances exceeds the fear of finally doing something different. So that's how I think about rock bottom. When you're in that space, you're birthed with a willingness that you didn't have prior. Your rock bottom is what you decide it to be. Because if the elevator's going down, there is no ground level. It can always go further down until you're dead.
You need to have faith a better version of yourself exists. You need to take responsibility for your own life into your own hands. Most likely you're not going to have a role model following you, telling you what to do, asking you these hard questions and pushing you in the right direction. You need to be the one to do that.
It's about gaining control of your mind, putting things back in the proper perspective, and then saying, I really do want to be here. And I'm going to have a bunch of these 1 seconds through this 130-hour journey. And I have to learn to control these, because if I fail one of these 1 seconds, I will not be a SEAL. I will not be a doctor. I will not be a lawyer. I will not be whatever the fuck it is. So that's how important that 1 second decision is. It's all about your mind takes control of you. You have to say, I run this.
What was I doing with my confidence? I was making a determination to take action on something that I didn't feel comfortable with. And trust me, I did. I never broke that promise to myself, and today I can look back at many times where I just went ahead and did it. I didn't feel comfortable, but I went ahead and did it. And each time I took action, it began to give me confidence.
If I'm running on a treadmill and I get to mile 9 and I get complete cramp in one of my legs, and I know I've told myself I'm going to run 10 kilometers today, he goes, I will have to limp the last mile, even if no one's watching, because I can't let the demons in. And if I let the demons in, they'll show up in the 11th round of a championship fight when there's 50,000 people watching me in the audience. And I know deep in my self-story that I'm the type of person that quits when things get hard.
You know, if you ask the average kid, do you want to be exceptional? Do you want to do something great with your life? The answer is usually yes. But their actions very rarely align with it. And I feel like I didn't have anyone in don't need someone. The responsibility lies within yourself ultimately, always. But I do believe that like a role model could be a huge asset for pushing yourself to ask these hard questions and being like, if you want to be exceptional, what you're doing right now is average or even below average. And if you want to continue to be average or below average your whole life, then continue doing this. But you need to make a serious change and start doing hard shit and letting go of the easy shit, the comfortable, pleasurable shit.
Taking full accountability of your life with all of the deficiencies that you have may be the most painful thing that you do when you look at yourself in the mirror and say, this is my fault. But in saying, this is my fault, those are also the first 2 steps of progress, because it's my fault, not anyone else's, which means it's my responsibility and my action that can change that. And I think that marrying short-term pain with long-term progress is one of the first connections that most people who are on that path have to make.
Getting better is a campaign. It's a campaign. It's a daily, a weekly, it's an hourly fight. An incessant fight that doesn't stop against weakness and against temptation and against laziness. It's a campaign of discipline. It's a campaign of hard work and dedication. It's waking up early and going to bed late and grinding out every second in between. Every single day.
What the do you expect? You're not putting in the work. You have to do more. You gotta stop telling yourself that you're doing enough. In life, it's never enough until you feel this overwhelming feeling of shit, man. I'm outworking the crowd. I'm outworking everybody. I'm doing more. It's not until then, once you get there, that's when you fucking know you've done enough. Stay hard.
I didn't do them willingly. I did them because I was in so much fucking pain that I was boxed into a corner and felt like the only way out was through. In other words, when the pain of my circumstance exceeded the tremendous amount of fear that I was harboring about doing something different. Until you start doing things differently, you're always going to get the same result. And yet we're so calcified around who we are and what we're doing, and this is my identity, and this is who I am, that it becomes very difficult to break free of that.
A lot of people, man, how do you do what you do? At the end of the day, I ask myself one question: can I take one more step? And usually the answer is yes. So if you can answer that question and not take another step, that is real failure. That is real quitting.
Someone's opinion of you does not have to become your reality. And he taught me 3 things. He said, if you want to become successful in life, young man, he said, number 1, you got to change your mindset. He said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are.
Struggle doesn't mean you're on the wrong path. It usually means you're on a real one, right? Struggle doesn't mean you're making a mistake. Struggle could mean that you have a lot to learn to get to this goal. If you have something you really value, don't change what you value, change the path to get there. Pain isn't proof of misalignment. It's proof you're growing. It's proof it matters. And ultimately, it reveals to you whether it matters enough.
You don't have to feel good about it. You just have to keep going. The feeling will pass, but you will remain. You are greater than your feelings. Going to bed late and waking up early to work for a few days won't kill you. You're not going to burn out. You're doing what it takes. If you're one of those people that push work-life balance, just remember, the people who like working a lot don't care. I've never regretted trying harder at anything ever. Hard times last long, but an epic story feels like a lifetime.
Victims see their past as their fate. Champions see their past as their origin story. And so a lot of people are living through their origin story right now, or they're living through the very reason that they'll never be successful, but it could be the exact same situation. And the only difference between either character is the actions they choose to take.
The greatest of all qualities to guarantee success is the absolute willingness to go at anything and refuse to stop until you achieve it. And you know something? The statistics show that 95% of the goals that you set for yourself, you will achieve if you refuse to quit. So the starting point is just to simply say, I am unstoppable. Say it. Say, I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. Now say it like you mean it. Get your thumbs out of your mouths and say it like you mean it. Say, I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. Once more, I am unstoppable. I am unstoppable. Yes. So now from now on, whenever you see a barrier or wall or you think of anything you want to do or be, you say, wait a minute here. I'm unstoppable. Nothing stops me.
Future you is your biggest ally, period. Past you is completely dead, by the way. Future you is going to exist soon, and you're going to want to be a future you that you look back at as many points as possible in future you world to be like, damn, dude, old me set the shit up good.
Yeah, Gwynder Bogle says your future self is watching you through your memories, whether it's with pride or regret, depends on what you do now.
Fellas, you'll not get there if you quit, if you just say, forget it. You know, I can't be the man that I wanted to be. Well, of course you're not right now. You will not be the man that you want to be until you grow into it. You have to grow into it.